Hey guys, Deb here with Art and Grace. Come on in. I'm excited to be here and I have a cute project. I cannot wait to show you guys this. So I've already got my board prepped. This is a 9x12 wood canvas. It's already been prepped with the multi-purpose sealer. I put 2 coats of this. Then I painted 1 coat of white just to kind of give it a background. And then from here we're going to go. I think I'm going to go ahead and mix up my resin. Let it be sitting and getting a little bit thicker. Let's do that first before we paint, and we're going to speed paint today. So if you like this design, I'm going to offer it for my free tracer this month. I'll put it on my website later today. So I'm using Art Resin. Let's see, Art Resin brand. It has no VOCs, no COVs, and no BPAs, which is long, or it's short initials for long chemicals that you do not want in your home. I think I'm going to do 3 total ounces for this 9x12, although I don't know that I'll use it all, so I'm going to do another ½ ounce. I get real quiet when I'm measuring because I really need to be exact. That's one of the keys to having a really good cure with resin, is to really get it exact as you can, just eyeballing it. Once you are done with your first, like whether it's resin or hardener, set it aside with the lid on it, kind of off to the side, so that you know which one you just did. Because if you pour 2 of one, which I've done before, you get distracted and then you are like, oh wait, which one did I pour? You know. So I just set it off to the side, and here's the one I need to do. So I am doing, like I said, 1½ ounce of each of these. We're going to mix it for 3 minutes, and while I'm mixing, I'll be reading comments. Okay, so we're starting kind of slow and easy. I have the tendency to want to beat it like I'm making a cake. So I always tell everybody, remember, you know, we're not trying to do that. We're just slow and easy. And every so often you'll scrape the cup, scrape the bottom of the cup, and then scrape your stick, get that all back in there, and work it back in. 3 minutes of stirring, slow and easy. You're going to see a lot of bubbles, but it will get very clear. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to speed paint. And I'm just going to rip these off. It's hard for me to paint with gloves on. So we're going to do a green, what I call green blackboard. You know what I mean. Background or blackboard will be green. I'm using an angle brush. I definitely feel like your brushes will make you a better painter. So if you need help with that, I love helping people kind of find some good brushes that aren't expensive and will help you do your paintings even better and make it easier. This one is going to be a speed painting, so please don't judge, because normally a project like this takes me an hour and a half, but we are going to get it done in 45 minutes. So if that tells you anything, it's not going to be what do you call it, like a fine art for sure. It's going to be funky and fun, but cute, I hope. Okay, like I said, y'all, this is very simple, nothing fancy today, but we want this to look a little, you know how chalkboards look a little messy. I'm kind of coming in with some white and making it messy looking, like it's been erased. All right, let's grab some brown. We're going to take that brown with just a touch of the white and do a quick wood frame around our chalkboard. throwing in a little black, just little swipes of black. That was a big one, so blend it in a little. Grab a little brown. We can just blend that in. It will be fine. We're going to cover this with glass anyway, but I do like to always show the full painting. So in my group, I always paint it and then we'll put glass. So people who don't want to do glass, they still have the full painting. I'll have to show you the slow-mo, you know, how I do a wood look another day. We're not going to have time for that today. But I have a little technique that I show that will give you a nice wood look, like with the grain and everything. I'm doing red with just a little tiny bit of black to darken it up. So using a little bit of red with black for the base coat. And now just kind of going over it with my red. We'll give it some highlights here in a minute, but I'm going to be moving quick, so I'm going to grab a small detail brush. I do have favorites when it comes to these brushes. I love these brushes. I'm mixing green, yellow, and just a touch of white. We're going to do a leaf for our apple. This will all be covered with glass, so really doesn't matter too much. But and then I'm going to take some dark green, so green with just a touch of black, and kind of give it an outline. Okay, there's our little leaf. Can you see okay? I'm taking just a little bit of white. We're going to put that up there for a highlight. I'm doing the chalk gray. It's a light gray. And then I'm going to come across it with a little white. Gonna do his beard white with a little black. So I always do gray as my first coat on the little gnome beard. There's your first layer. And while that dries, we're going to do his nose. I'm using primary colors. I think this will be super cute for some teacher to have in her room. So that's my thought, is primary colors. Okay, on our glasses, so if you take the blue with lots of white, let's see if we can do that. At least if I can get this mostly painted, I'll lay down my glass for you and show you what that'll look like. So I'm using blue glass for his glasses, so that's why I want this blue. Do y'all see what this is? This is rulers. We're making these yellow stripes rulers. So I'll show you what I have for glass. So be sure and hang on to the end so I can at least lay my glass down for you. I'll have to resin off camera. But you saw me mix it if you were here for that. And if not, you can go back and watch how easy it is to mix it up. Well, I still got to do the floor, the shoes. I messed that up. So see, it's just not going to happen live. I'm so sorry. I had high hopes for myself, but once again, she bit off more than she could chew. So let me stop with this, put down the glass, show you how cute it's gonna be. Have it all right here. Okay, so we've got red, you know, when I'm working on both hands, I'm pressed for time. Okay, here's our little leaf that I cut out of green. This is all mosaic glass. Actually, this was a candle holder. This leaf was mosaic glass. We have chalk from mosaic glass. We have a stem for the apple, which is literally a stick out of the yard. Here's our chalkboard or blackboard frame, which is mosaic glass. Okay. Here's the cute part, in my opinion. There we go. And oh, can't forget this. So I'll have to paint his little hand. Let me see if I can get this. Can y'all see very well? It's gonna be cute once we get the hat painted. I'm gonna have to do this super fast once we go off the live because I've got my resin ready to be poured. Thank you for being here today. After I painted our little gnome, I swept off any little particles that might have landed on it, and we're ready to resin. I've got all my glass pieces laid out. I've already mixed my resin, so we are ready to go. I'm pouring, say about half of this on top of my piece. I'll speed this part up, but all I do is pour about half onto the surface and then spread it to all the edges. Now I'm going to pop the bubbles with my butane torch. This is like a creme brulee torch that you'd use in the kitchen. I did buy mine on Amazon. It's around $20. Works really well. Very easy to fill with butane. Very safe as long as you're using it properly and storing it properly. So don't be afraid of it. It gets out all the bubbles, unlike just a regular heat tool can do. So once I get all those bubbles out, it's literally just time to start laying down our glass where it goes. You might want to get a set of craft tweezers so that you've got multiple pairs that they'll open up really wide. They're great to use for helping you kind of guide your pieces along or picking up and placing your pieces when you don't want your gloved hand to touch the resin. And here we go with the larger pieces for the red apple. I like using these large pieces anytime it's appropriate. And then a tiny little wood stick out from the yard. And then just putting the pieces as they go. It's really such a fun little project. The event I was in was called Grab Your Glasses and Head Back to Classes. So here's our little gnome and his glasses going to class. I put more resin over the whole thing. You don't want to do too much or it'll run over the side, but I did add more and then gave it another round with the butane torch and picked out a couple of little particles that I saw that flowed in, and that's it. It's ready to cure. I'll leave this overnight on a level surface with a cover over it. And tomorrow I'll take a picture and show you, but it'll be just so pretty and glass-like. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I'm going to work on uploading a tracer for you right now. You'll be able to get that on my website, artgracepaint.com.